What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? It's your boy, Billiam. I got my little son riding with me today. You feel me? Nigga beard coming off a little bit, but he alright. Anyway, listen, bro. Let me tell y'all about St. Pete. This is not the same St. Pete that I spoke on that had some involvement with Angry Rasta. This is somebody totally different. Overall, St. Pete was cool. He was kind of quiet for the most part. Like, I done talked to him, chopped it up with him, of course. But we ain't, for a long time, we was never just cool, you know what I'm saying? He was real cool with another dude named Black Mike. So he'd come down there, C-Bill, you got a cigarette? Yeah. C-Bill, you got a Chris Brown CD? Yeah. You got an Al Green CD? Yeah. Yes or no, simple as that. We make the exchange. He go head on about his business. One day, Black Mike get transferred, middle of the night. They sent him to another prison. Now, St. Pete, he ain't got no friends. Black Mike was the only one in the dorm he was cool with, for real, you know what I'm saying? He ain't really had no friends, so he started coming around me because I used to rock with Black Mike too, you know what I'm saying? Old school dude, big stomach, but not just like real big, it was like one of them big long stomachs, like, you know what I'm saying? Bald head, he had kind of like a long head, like kind of pin head, dark skin, deep dark spots in his skin. You know how some people's faces just be like everywhere, like, I don't know if that's like bad acne or just something different, but he had deep dark spots in his face and he used to wear glasses. So one day I'm leaning against the rail. This like 2 days after Black Mike transfer, he come over there, he like, see Bill, I'm like, what going on, St. Pete? He like, man, cooling, bro. I'm just sick of this, bro. I'm tired of this, bro. I just wish I could get up out of here one day, man. I said, when they talking about letting you out? He was like, man, they talking about it's over with. He talking about, but my cousin, he finna go big with this music stuff. He said soon he get enough money, he gonna come get me, you know what I'm saying? He gonna get me a lawyer. I said, oh, okay, your cousin, he already got a little buzz and stuff? He said, yeah, his name Rod Wave. Man, down where I'm from, everybody know my cousin, man. Everybody. He just ain't went super mainstream yet. You ain't never heard of him? I said, nah, I ain't never heard of nobody named Rod Wave now. He was like, yeah, I'm telling you. I said, what he be rapping about? He said, he don't really be rapping. He be like more so kind of harmonizing, singing and stuff. I was like, oh, no, I'm not even with no singing stuff, so I probably wouldn't listen to him, no way. Rather that was his cousin or not, for real, it was funny when Rod Wave blew up and I saw him and I heard that, and I was like, damn, I knew it was something familiar about this person, you know what I'm saying? So it turned into a thing where St. Pete started, pulling up on me every day. We started, like hanging out, chopping it up a little bit. And he was a little older. He wasn't like an old man, but he was probably like in his 40s, you know what I'm saying? Early 40s. He was older than me, is what I'm saying. So I'm sitting there chilling on the range. We chopping it up. Because to be honest, I really didn't like St. Pete coming in my room a lot because he had a little smell to him that, it wasn't the most pleasant. And I had said something before when he started laughing. I was like, boy, stop playing with me. So I just was like, shit, we'll just post up on the outer area from time to time, you know what I'm saying? These guys coming walking past me, the guys I was running with, and there's two of them, and they kind of look like they up to something, got shoes on and stuff. They walking past, and when they walk past, one of them hit me on the back, not hard, it just like tapped me on the back to get my attention. And he leaned in as he was walking past and was like, such and such, such and such. He said like a code and stuff to me to let me know, to be on point because there's a situation going on with another group in this dorm and it just might pop. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, for sure. So I go in the room, I go put on my shoes, make sure I got the candy bar I like. I come back out. So when I walk back out, St. Pete say, yeah, and I already done peeped the move because the boy over there, woo. And after he said that, I'm listening to it, but I was just thinking about the fact that you're even saying something that's kind of out of your, you know what I'm saying? You ain't even got no business saying nothing about this. It ain't like you finna ride with nobody, nigga, you know what I'm saying? And then he left off and walked off to his room when he saw everybody was grouping up and stuff like that. And some stupid stuff ended up happening. It did not take for everybody, the entire group. It was maintained and cut off very fast. It only took about 3 people. And, you know, that's including 2 sides, 2 different gangs. So it wasn't that many people, you know, involved in it. But the code was called. We did get locked down. We was on lockdown for a couple hours. They came and took the 2 people out. Wasn't no bloodshed or nothing. It was just somebody got punched on, hands, feet, and elbows. So they took them out. One of the people just so happened to be my roommate. Bro, I didn't have a room to myself for an hour. Got a whole new roommate. Young dude, bro, was 17 years old. Young dude, light skin, had a low haircut. Said he just left juvenile, so he was in juvenile for a couple months, but they gave him like 7 years. So once he turned 17, that's when they sent him to the real prison. So, you know, little bro cool, you know what I'm saying? Little Scott, he was cool. And, you know, I'd be sitting there chopping it up with him, talking to him, just, you know, kind of teaching him game about prison and stuff. And I used to let him use the phone. He put me on the phone with his mama once. She like, oh, thank you for looking out for my son. His mama done put some money on my books, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all right, Mom Dukes, I appreciate it. One day, me and Scott is in the room, bro. The door swing open. He's sitting down on the end of the bed, like closer to the toilet. I'm standing up over there by the desk. Well, I'm not even standing up. I'm sitting. I got my feet on the seat, and I'm sitting on the actual desk. And I had the candy bar in my hand. I was hitting it against my hand like this. And it wasn't nothing, you know, not scaring nobody or not threatening. I just was doing it, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, yeah, little bro. You know, one thing about this chain game, bro, it get real, bro. It get wicked, you feel me? It get real wicked. He was like, bro, you ever stab somebody with the candy bar? I was like, yeah. He was like, damn, you know, just asking me questions, so how do it feel? This, and this. Bro, while we're in the middle of talking, the door swings open. Immediately, I like leap up a little bit. It's St. Pete. The man walk in talking about what y'all ugly ass nigga got going on. So I would have addressed this alone anyway. I would have, with no hesitation. But considering that I had Lil Bro right there with me, I felt as if that made it so much more of a better reason for me to address it head on, because he's trying to learn how to chain gang. So he need to know how to deal with these type situations, you know what I'm saying? I say, St. Pete. So he look up. I say, St. Pete, what's up, ugly ass nigga? And I didn't understand why he was playing like that. Like, he ain't never played like that. You know what I'm saying? I say, listen, bro. You've been locked up long enough to know. Don't ever do that, bro. Don't just bust in nobody's room like that, bro. You know better than that, bro. That man said, I got a life sentence. When he said that, I see Scott on the bed. Nigga looked like he just saw a ghost or something. I said, bro, what the fuck you having a life sentence got to do with anything? The man gonna start laughing. I'm just playing crazy, man. Come on, bro. Get out your feeling, bro. I'm just playing, bro. Hey, little bro, let me holler at you, though. And then he turn around and leave out. Scott leave right out behind him. And at that moment, I was just like, yeah, me and bro finna fuck around and stop, you know, being cool, because number one, I don't think you was just playing. I think when you said I got a life sentence, I think you honestly felt as if that means something to me, and you just wanted to see how I was going to respond to it. So I don't know if you trying me or what, you know what I'm saying? So bro come back in. He come in and go straight to his box. I'm like, what the hell you about to do? He like, oh, shit. St. Pete said he needed some soap. I was just about to throw him some soap, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like, nigga, you just got in here not too long ago. St. Pete been in here. I said, how much soap you got, little bro? He said, oh, shit, I ain't got but a bar. I said, you about to give him half of it? He said, man, this thick-ass bar, I can't break that. I said, so if you give him the only bar of soap you got, what are you going to use? That man looked at me and said, shit, big bro, he got a life sentence, bro. I say, what the fuck that supposed to mean? Because he got a life sentence. His ass need to be stinking for life then if he ain't bought no soap, but he prioritizing everything else. He's like, nah, I ain't gonna trip it, bro. Man, he got a life sentence, bro. At least I get out one day. He leaves straight out the room. Why you didn't ask the man for the soap while you was right in here in front of me? Starting to make me think you tried to put some press on him or something, you know what I'm saying? He come back in. I skip over bruh, and I just go back to, you know, talking about the chain gang. And then I kind of threw some things in there about St. Pete, but without directly saying something directly got to do with St. Pete. Like I basically was just telling them like, bro, prioritize you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You got to put you first and over stuff and above stuff, bro. Like you can't have nobody out here talking about something they need something, and then you basically can't see a person without a shirt on their back, but you only got one shirt on your back, and then you give them your shirt. Now you don't have a shirt. You can't do that, bro. I know we do it, and sometimes that be our biggest downfall, trying to be like that to people. You know what I'm saying? So I was just telling them like that, like, hell no, bro. Sometimes you just can't do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't directly go to that, like saying nothing about St. Pete, but that's what I was hinting towards. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, yeah, bro, woot, woot, woot. So then he got to ask me about GD, about what he got to do to join. But he was talking about he ain't trying to join. He just want to know how it works. And I was just telling him, like, bro, don't even get into that, bro. Just the whole question asking, because when people do that, it makes me think it's a little more to it, what you telling me. It make me think you thinking about it. And, bro, just continue, doing your time the way you've been doing your time, bro. Because you get into stuff, and it's a whole different ball game. It's not what you think, bro. And you fuck around and be in a very bad space one day. You know what I'm saying? So to avoid that from happening, just leave that alone, bro. You don't even need to be asking a nigga no questions about nothing like that. You need to just leave that where that's at. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, all right, for sure, for sure. So, bro, it's chicken on the bone day, like 2 days later. So I'm telling bro, like, what the hell? So Scott, like, what the hell going on? I'm like, what you mean? He was like, bro, just the energy, bro. Everything just feel different. I see people all excited. You got everybody passing around soups. I say, bro, it's chicken on the bone day, nigga. He was like, y'all ain't never had chicken before? I say, nigga, we get it once a month. How much did you get chicken in Juvenile? He said, hell no, they gave us chicken all the time. I said, well, here you only getting it once a month, my boy. So he like, damn, for real? I said, yep, and you get one piece. You might get a small piece or whatever. So it's crucial that you collect you a few pieces. Or if you broke, it's crucial that you sell your piece. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting ready. I got to grab my plastic bag because I done bought me a couple of my chip bag. What is that, a cheetah? No, it was a mesquite. It's called a mesquite chip. It was a bag probably about that big, clear bag, probably about that wide. So, I'm grabbing the bag. Scotty shoot out the room. I had already told him, hold on, bro. Feel me? He shoot out the room anyway. I'm like, whatever. I'll go walking with the guys. As soon as I hit the end of the range, I see St. Pete walking with Scotty, but he playing with him, bro. Like he, and then you got Scotty over there like, man, watch out, man, watch out. And then St. Pete like, but St. Pete hitting him every time. He ain't hitting him hard, of course. But and I know, bro, I've been in situations like this before. I'm telling you. I think in these situations is one of two things. You actually scared of the person, or you just got a whole lot of respect for the person. And even though they hitting you, bro, you just can't hit them back. Like, quick side story. I had a person that I really looked up to a lot in my life, and he used to say a lot of joking, slightly disrespectful things to me. And had it been anybody else saying it, I would have easily retorted saying something equally back. But just the respect I had, even though you're proving to me you don't have that same respect, I just couldn't give you that same energy. I guess you look up to a person so long. So they just playing, he hitting them in the head. And I don't know, bro. I just done heard a couple things about St. Pete, and I just don't like stuff like that. Then I never really like when a person been locked up for a long time, then a new person come in, and then that person like go to handling them to any degree, because I feel like you land on their neophyte in them. You know what I'm saying? We get up to the chow hall, bro. Everybody get their food. We sit down. Scott and St. Pete and them is directly across from the table I'm sitting at. So I done got my 3-4 pieces that people owe me. I done went crazy with the hot sauce. Well, I got 2 on my plate, and I threw the other 2 in the bag, hit it with the hot sauce, even though I'm taking that back to the dorm. Since I'm a real chef, I got to let it marinate. You know what I'm saying? I got to let it marinate in the hot sauce. Wish I had some lemon pepper sprinkles, but I didn't. I had to let it marinate in the hot sauce. And I go to tearing me up my 2 that's on the plate right now. Bro, while I'm eating, I'm not watching these people, but I am kind of looking just because, you know, I just want to see what's going on. I'm sitting here eating my food, and Scott is sitting there picking at the sides and all this type stuff. And I'm like, damn, that man ain't touched that chicken yet. He had a big old piece of chicken too. Eating these little nasty greens that they got on the side or whatever. And then I guess he decided to just give it a try. The man took the little spoon he had and peeled back at the skin on the chicken. As soon as he did that, St. Pete reached over there, grabbed his whole chicken off his tray. Man, you don't want it. You playing with it. You playing with it. Put it on his tray. Went to eating. Everybody staring at Scott now. Then they go to looking at me because he my roommate. I'm looking him straight in his eyes. He look up at St. Pete. St. Pete ain't even looking back at him. He eating. And then he just like, man, big bro, hell, man, watch out, big bro. Let me get my chicken. He reached back over like he finna grab the chicken back. St. Pete looked at him and said, hey, bro, I got a life sentence. Don't put your hand on my plate. Don't play with my food, bro. And then Scott was like, but bro, that's you took my chicken. I got a life sentence, bro. So I was like, hey, St. Pete, come on, bro. Don't do the nigga like that, bro. That's fucked up, bro. Man, CB, bro, that's your problem, bro. You always trying to be in a nigga video, bro. Mind your business, bro. Just chill, bro. You always in a nigga video. I said, no, bro, that's lame, bro. Like, the fuck wrong with you? You know these young niggas don't know no better. Come on, man. Don't do the nigga like that, bro. The officer, and they're like, hey, man, y'all better shut up all that arguing. Y'all must be done eating. Y'all can go and get up out of here. Y'all doing all that talking and stuff. So I just shut up, finished eating my chicken. You know what I'm saying? There was a few more people when I said that spoke up and was like, yeah, St. Pete, that lame ass shit, bro. So I guess it was, you know, he went to feeling, you know, if he went to feeling guilty or whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying? He just was like, fuck it. Man done already ate about half of the chicken. Then grabbed it and smacked it back on Scott's plate. I was like, you can have the shit, bro. So Scott didn't touch the chicken. You feel me? He's still eating at the side. So I see them talking. I guess St. Pete was asking somebody at the table who got a bag. So somebody had it. So he gonna ask Scott, bro, you want to put your chicken in the bag? So I guess Scott said, yeah. So they come back in the dorm. St. Pete go get his chicken out. The other dude chicken out. He did get Scott the chicken back in the bag. Because Scott folded it up and put it on the top of his locker box. And I was just talking to him like, bro, you got to stop playing with niggas like that, bro. You can't be playing like that, bro. You feel me? Like, that is a very bad start to prison, bro. Like, somebody playing with you like that, doing all that goof ass shit. And you know, I'm just kind of telling him, he like, man, I ain't really studying it, bro. You know, bro got a life sentence. But, bro, he got a life sentence. You feel me? I ain't going to be here forever. He got a life sentence. So you know, I really ain't studying it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Bro got a life sentence. And I was just, you know, at that point, I was just like, all right, because, I mean, how much can I tell you, nigga? How many times can I talk to you about this, you know, before you reach a point where you say, I'm going to listen, CB, you know what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, shit. All right, he got a life sentence. That nigga grabbed the chicken, walked out the room, came back in with no chicken. I said, what the hell you did with the chicken? He said, I just gave it a bit, bro. I just told him he could have it. I said, bro, what would you do if you was in a situation, hypothetically speaking, where just because you trying to be so nice to niggas and you talking about he got a life sentence, what would you do if every time you went to chow, a nigga took your food and his excuse was, I got a life sentence? What would you do if you go to Stokar and that nigga come in here and just take your food and his excuse is he got a life sentence? What would you do if that man is a psychopathic, sexually frustrated rapist, and you coming out the shower one day and he come, you know, trying to grab it and talking about his, what would you do when he say, I got a life sentence? So Brett started laughing. He bust out laughing. He said, CB, you be taking shit too far. I said, the reason you think I'm taking shit too far is because you haven't been here. And you haven't been here for years, and you don't know that a lot of things start small like that, and it really leads up to bigger things. That's why the way I just explained that, it probably did sound funny to you, but what you don't realize is I wasn't being funny. I was not joking to no degree. I was very serious. He was like, no, bro, hell no, it wouldn't go that far, bro. I'd have been stopped it before it went that far. You know what I'm saying, bro? It would never go that far. I said, all right. I was just asking, little bro, you know what I'm saying? I was just trying to see what you think, what you had to say when it comes down to stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, yeah, hell no, I appreciate you for looking out for me, bro, but hell no, bro, big bro ain't on none of that, no way, bro. He just, Man, oh man, he got life, bro. Bro ain't never getting out, bro. He done accepted the real reality. I'm like, all right, nigga, you ain't finna tell me. I don't give a damn what you say. You ain't finna tell me. So I'm like, all right, for sure. Yeah, that's cool, for sure. Leading up to Stow Day, now I done totally stopped talking to St. Pete. Like, he don't even say 2 words to me no more. Because his ass done. After he did that shit with that chicken, bro, you know, nigga really realized what type of time he on, what type of person you really is. Like, you really a preying on the weak type nigga. You see this man kind of intimidated. Shit, I was kind of intimidated about prison too, but shit, not to that point when a nigga finna be taking my chicken. But I just didn't like that. So I fell back from St. Pete for sure. You know what I'm saying? And you know, so a lot of times he'll just knock on the door, stand outside the door, he'll stick his head in, call Scott, whatever. So they leading up to it, you know, they going over prices and store lists and this, and this. Scott went for a store car. It was like $60. He got the whole 60. Bro, one day I walked in my room, Scott was in the shower. I come in the room, I didn't even see St. Pete going there. Bro, when I walk in my room, St. Pete is in the room with Scott box over. He had a honey bun in his hand. He had 2 soups. And when I walked in, he talking about beef stick. Where the hell the beef sticks at? Where the beef sticks at? So I said, bro, what the fuck, bro? Why is you in my room and why is you in this man's shit, bro? Oh, you know, little bro don't care, bro. I'm just grabbing something. I'm finna go and get out your way. I said, but did he give you permission to come up here and get something out his box, bro? Man, you know little bro ain't stunned that shit, bro. You feel me? I don't even, man, shit, I'm finna get out your way, though. My bad. I ain't gonna come back in your room. And then he leave out. Bro come out the shower. I said, bro came here, got a honey bun, 2 soups, and a beef and cheese stick. He was like, damn, bro, that was my last beef and cheese stick, bro. I was like, you didn't tell him to get it? He said, hell no, but man, he got a life sentence. I ain't tripping that, bro. I ain't tripping that, bro. It is what it is. I didn't even say nothing. I said, all right, whatever. I didn't even say nothing. Later on that night, they was down there playing, bro, in the day room. St. Pete, so-called himself, talking about he gonna teach him how to fight. So they down there like sparring, throwing little punches. St. Pete on all kind of grapples. Like he trying to teach him some stuff. And bro, he like, when St. Pete swung once, Scott actually kind of like got up under him and weaved him real quick and grabbed him like hard. But St. Pete is far bigger than Scott. But when he did it, you could see like St. Pete's body kind of jump. So he probably was surprised as hell, like this little man just. So he was like, all right, let me go. So he pushed Scott up extra hard, bro. So he was like, let me show you this one. 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 Scott came up. St. Pete did something like this. Came back, hit the man in the elbow. Hit the man in the face with his elbow. So ASAP, Scott went to doing like this. So St. Pete was like, oh, damn, my bad, bro. He was like, I ain't done. And he did something, bro, and snatched the man up. Bro, it probably was like 3 seconds. Scott was knocked out. So, you know, when he picked him up, and bro red already. So when he picked him up, his face go to going red. That's when me and like 2 other people like, hey, St. Pete, bro, that lame ass shit, bro. Fuck you got going on, bro. So he dropped him. Bro was unconscious. He was like, man, I was just playing with the man. Man, y'all tripping, bro. That my little homeboy. I was just trying to teach him some moves and stuff, bro. Like on some real lame stuff, you feel me? And when bro was getting up, when St. Pete was getting him up, one of the other dudes that was signed with me, like St. Pete, you lame as hell, he walked down there over there with me at. He was like, bro, I ain't gonna cap, man. Nigga slick wanna flip this nigga St. Pete. Cause all that lame ass shit, that bullying shit, trying little bro and shit, like, bro, hell nah, bro. Nigga can't go out, bro. Nigga ain't finna sit here. This ain't even that type of dorm, bro. We players in here. We get money, bro. We ain't gonna run around no bit bullying no nigga. You ain't gonna go to D-Bit and do all that. All that, I got a life sentence shit. Nigga, don't nobody care about your life sentence. Nigga, we all got life sentence. I was thinking in my head, no fucking we all, nothing. Little bro came back up the steps. This shit like this fat, bro. Not like big as my hand, but probably like that fat, bro. Just poking out. I was just like, damn. He went in the room. St. Pete came up there behind him. I was like, bro, don't go in my room, bro. He was like, I'm trying to check on little bro. I said, bro, do not go in my room. Matter of fact, you're not even welcome in my room no more. Knock on the door. Tell him come outside if y'all want to kick it, but don't go back in my room, bro. I hear a knock, so I look back. It's little bro, so he doing like this. So I step in the room. I'm like, what's up, bro? He was like, I think you right. I was like, what you mean? He was like, I think that I got a life sentence shit. He just be bullying me and just trying me, bro. And I think you right, bro. You feel me? Like, I should have listened to you, and I was a little scared. Cause I'm just thinking like if a nigga never getting out, and I am, he'll kill me and won't nothing happen. I said it don't always work like that, bro. Sometimes it do, But that's not always the case, bro. And everybody that got a life sentence wasn't just a big beast out there. You could damn near do anything and get a life sentence out here. You know what I'm saying? And that man said, I got to do something about it, bro. I said, what you going to do? He said, you got another candy bar? I said, candy bar for what? He said, I'm finna go flip St. Pete. I said, you gonna stab him? He said, yeah. I said, folk, you stabbed somebody before? He said, hell no. I said, what if you do it the wrong way? He said, bro, just give me the candy bar, bro. You got to watch part 2 to see what happened next.